All right, we are live on YouTube and also simulcasting live on Facebook. Welcome to Morning Coffee with Coach Eli. Glad you could all join me here today on this very, very special Sunday. It is Sunday morning where I'm at. I'm on the West Coast. It's pretty much Sunday afternoon everywhere else. It is 2:13 p.m. 2:13 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. That's right, 11:13 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time here in my neck of the woods in California. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. Lots of love from Coach Eli. I know how difficult it is to, to raise children. So to all the wonderful mothers out there that are raising up amazing kids, or they've already raised their kids to be amazing, my blessings to all of you. And to the mothers out there that are struggling to raise their kids properly, I wish you the best. My thoughts and prayers are with you. Hopefully your kids will not end up like one particular person I'll be discussing here once again at the beginning of this show, unfortunately. But before we get to that, let me make sure that the YouTube notification has gone out, and it has gone out. And let me also check out the back end of YouTube and make sure that that is rolling smoothly. Now, give me a second here. Give me 1 second here. I have to refresh the page. My apologies on that. Okay. Looks like we're good. I can't even talk. I'm so excited. I've been waiting to do this show for quite some time. I'm so excited, and I just can't hide it. I'm about to lose control, and I think I like it, right? Again, we're simulcasting on Facebook. We haven't done that in a while, but this show makes sense to simulcast this. Let me make sure that the Facebook broadcast is running smoothly. Let's see. Broadcast is running smoothly. Yes, it is. All right. And let me also pay special props to this channel sponsor on the YouTube side of things, and even on Facebook as well. Let me pay special props to Troy Brewer. He's the CEO, founder, and owner of the Discover Community Network. If you'd like more information about the Discover Community Network and how Troy can help you with your branding and marketing needs and so much more, please go in the description about a third of the way down and click on the main link, Discover Community Network, or you can also access one of their subsidiaries, Discover Community Network, Internet Radio Network, DC Internet Radio Network. If you're on Facebook, you can type in Discover Community Network in the search bar, and you'll find all of the Facebook business pages. You can figure out how to connect with Troy from there, or you can email me at coacheli@coach.eliasmelas.com and ask me to personally connect you. And I can even get on a three-way phone conversation with you and Troy if you're interested in his services. And feel more comfortable doing so that way. And Troy, I know you've been married to your amazing wife for many, many, many years, decades. Troy, happy Mother's Day to your wonderful and amazing wife. I know both of you. I've known both of you for a while now, and I got to say this. Troy's wife is an incredible woman, and she stood by his side through thick and thin, and I respect both of them. I have the utmost respect, towards both of them. And, that's why this is one guy that no matter what happens, I will always be his friend, and he's always been my friend. There have been times where, Troy and I, haven't talked for a while, not because we didn't want to talk. Life gets busy. We get busy with our individual businesses, but Troy's always been there. And his wife has always been there. And these are just two of the most amazing people I've ever met in my life. And I'm very blessed to call you folks lifetime friends outside of the sponsorship. But again, Troy, as always, thank you for your continued patronage and sponsorship of this channel. All right. So let's get right to it here. Let me check out the chat first. And then I'm going to start off with some community news very briefly at the beginning of this stream. If you're on Facebook, you haven't heard a lot of the community news, and I haven't been broadcasting a lot on Facebook lately because it wouldn't make sense to do so. The content has been catered more so to an audience that has known me for many years, and I've been dealing with some issues with trolls and haters and legal issues and stuff like that. If you'd like to find out more, if you want to get every piece of content, even if you're on Facebook, you're going to have to subscribe to my YouTube channel. The link is in the description section, youtube.com/C/A Grip on Life. You can sign in to YouTube on your YouTube app with your Google account, and then you can subscribe. Hit the subscribe button, then tap the bell icon, and then make sure you select all notifications so that way you get all notifications when I go live, even when I don't broadcast on Facebook. If I have to do specific niche community streams for YouTube, they will not be simulcasted on Facebook. If you want those, you're going to have to come over to the YouTube side of things. So just being honest with you about that, just making you aware of that. That's what I'm trying to say. So let's get to the chat here. Mo Teague's in the house. He says, sounds fun, Eli. And I wrote at the beginning of the chat before I went live. I have been looking forward to this show for a while now. I've been putting it off for a couple of days. Things came up. So I'm glad I get the chance to do it today, especially on Mother's Day. That's great. Mo Teague with lots of thumbs up. Nunya, a.k.a. New Girl in Town. Hello, Coach. Hope your weekend was a good one. Well, it's still the weekend, Nunya. Hasn't ended yet. But so far, so good. Thank you so much for being here. BWYA Gaming's in the house. Hello, Eli and everyone. Hey, BWYA Gaming. Welcome back. Moderator and channel member, BWYA Gaming. Again, BWYA Gaming. Happy Mother's Day to you. Nunya, happy Mother's Day to you as well. I know both of you are raising some amazing kids. I know, Nunya, your son is dealing with a pinched nerve, a herniated disc. And my blessings to you, him, and the rest of your family that he has a speedy recovery. I'll tell you, folks, speaking of my pinched nerve, I was finally able to get on the treadmill the last couple of days, in addition to my walks at the park. I still walk and exercise daily. But I have not been able to start running until the last few days or so, and that's a really good sign. It has been almost a year since I pinched my nerve, and it is finally getting to the point of where I'm almost completely healed. Nunya, if your son can wait it out and avoid surgery, if I don't know if he's struggling with his bowel movements or other aspects. When you have a pinched nerve, it can affect your bowel movements initially. And if that is the case, my recommendation is to use some laxative suppositories to help stimulate the bowels. I'm not trying to be weird. People will cut me on this, and they'll make fun of it. I don't care. This is important information that could help people that are going through the pain that I went through. But if you want to talk with your son and ask him, if his pinched nerve, his herniated disc, which is probably affecting a sciatic nerve going from, his lower back through the buttocks, through the thighs, all the way down the leg to the foot. If that's what he's experiencing, it's probably affecting his groin area and probably affecting, his bowel movements, because that sciatic nerve affects a lot of movement in your body. And if that herniated disc was severely pinched like mine was, it's going to take a while before it starts to pull away from that nerve until things get back to normal. So that's something that worked for me when my pinched nerve was affecting my constipation more than the normal level of constipation I've had all my life. So that is that. Mo Teague says, hi all. Hello, Mo again. BWYA Gaming says hello at Mo Teague. Queen Helen Casey, the Queen is here. You're good. Hey, Queen, glad to have you here. Great that you're here to mod the chat. BWYA Gaming, hello, Queen. Everyone's saying hello. Nunya says, hello, Queen Helen. BWYA Gaming says, happy Mother's Day to all the wonderful mothers out here. Absolutely. How about a big round of applause for all the mothers? Happy Mother's Day, ladies. Ladies, I am not MGTOW. I am red-pilled, but I am not MGTOW. I love women, and I respect women that are real, true, feminine, modern-day women. In today's day and age, because of, women's lib and all that, like I've shared many times in the past, it has changed the dynamics between men and women have, evolved into being more empowered and being stronger and being independent. And that has changed a lot of women to behave less feminine, most of the time, instead of, behaving feminine, right? They're behaving more masculine instead of behaving more feminine. And I respect a woman that is well balanced, kind of like you women expect us men to be well balanced, right? I expect the same thing out of women. It's okay that you're working. It's great that you have equal rights. It's great that you may go to work and have to exude more masculine energy to do the job that you're doing. But if you're a woman that can turn off that excessive masculine energy when you come home to your man and you can be a little more feminine and submissive, that's the kind of woman that I respect. A woman that is well balanced. That's the woman I am looking to date and respect. And we have those types of women here. Nunya, that's how you are. And BWYA Gaming, that's how you are. You're very well balanced. And that's why I respect you women. And if you're a lady or a man that's struggling with understanding masculine and feminine energy in this modern world, I'd be happy to help you personally. You can go to the description and go to my website, coacheli.melas.com, and set up a phone coaching session, or come here in the chat and ask your questions. I'll answer your questions here on my live streams, as always, for free. Okay, let's see. Nunya says, Coach, my son is doing better. He started getting injections, and yes, it is affecting his bowels. Yeah, injections are probably the most I would do. I have not received any injections or had any surgery. Injections are this is my personal opinion. Obviously, I am not a doctor, right? But I've talked to my doctors, and this is what they've told me, and this is what I've also read online and seen through many various YouTube videos, through physical therapists out here. One that I suggest you subscribe to is Bob and Brad. They call themselves the two most famous physical therapists on the internet. They have almost 3 million subscribers, and they put out content almost daily, if not daily. They're awesome. But yeah, if his bowels are affected, if you have a Walgreens in your area, go to your Walgreens and get the laxative suppositories. They come in a 30-pack, and it's about $15, I believe. And that will stimulate a bowel movement and help with the bowels, because that sciatic nerve that's running right along there, that's pinched, is affecting his muscles to be able to push with enough strength to release the bowels. Like the people that are my haters are going to be laughing at this, right? But the people that are here for the right reasons, this is going to help them, right? Or if you don't have a Walgreens near you, you can get the actual brand made by Docalax. Same thing. You want to make sure it's the one that you put in through your rectum, and they have Biscotol 10 milligrams. So that's my advice on that, based on my personal experiences. Okay, Nunya, aka New Girl in Town. Thank you for your concern, Coach. You're welcome. Well, I've experienced it, Nunya. I've experienced it. If I can help somebody um, get better and heal through my personal experiences, why would I not do that? This is why I do what I do, folks. This is what I feel makes a coach a good coach, is helping people through his or her own personal experiences. Lewis Fuller, good afternoon, host. Queen Helen Kate says, hello, Lewis. Hi, Queen, says Lewis. Hello, Lewis, says BWYA Gaming. Let me see here. Lewis Fuller says, hi, everyone. And he says, yes, Queen, these trolls don't get it. I'm not even paying attention to trolls. So I'm just letting you mods handle them. We'll share a little bit about these people in a few here once I get through the chat. And then we're going to get down to business. I'm going to share with you folks what happened with those two women that I talked about on the show last week that I was supposed to go on a date on. And it seems too good to be true, right? It typically is. Lewis Fuller, be right back. Keep trucking to the trolls. That's fine. Nunya says, hello, Lewis. All right, let's get right to it here. The topic of today's stream is when dating prospects seem too good to be true, plus community news. One more time. When dating prospects seem too good to be true, plus community news. Let's get to the community news first. Now, most of you have been following me for a while on the YouTube side of things, and some of you on the Facebook side may know a bit of the backstory. But if you don't know the whole backstory, try to follow along. If not, you can, step away for a few and come back when I get to the meat and potatoes of this stream regarding, when dating prospects seem too good to be true. And like my thumbnail says, update on my dating stories. People love hearing those stories because they're real and raw, and I'm honest. I'm honest, right? But most of you are aware that I decided to go a little bit of a different route. Instead of going and filing a restraining order on the shepherd that's been paying for all these people on YouTube to attack me for the last 2 to 3 years. The shepherd is Brian, who is the owner of Texas Caregiver Support Services. Brian's kind of at least somewhat backed off. He's still paying people to do this. But the truth of the matter is those people don't have to accept his money to do those actions. And just because you're getting paid to do something, doesn't mean you have to do it. And if you're doing something, paid or not, that is affecting my business, my brand, my right to free enterprise, I'm going to take action. And so I announced a few days ago that instead of filing a restraining order tomorrow on Brian, I am actually filing that restraining order on Jamie, the owner of the Lichen Theory channel and, whatever he calls his network, the Lichen Legion. Now, since I made that announcement and I started working on the restraining order yesterday, and I'm about 2/3 of the way done with everything that I need to present to the court tomorrow. I'm going to finish the rest after this show and for the rest of the day. And that's why I'm doing this show early, because the rest of the day I'm going to be working on that. So many people, are asking me, they've emailed me or reached out to me, like lots of people. Do you really have to do this? Because now they're actually believing that I'm going to do it, and I am. And I even posted, like I was going to mention a second ago, I posted on my community tab on YouTube. That's why if you're on Facebook, you should subscribe to me on YouTube, because there are things I share on YouTube that I don't share on Facebook. So, if you want the full story of what's going on with Coach Eli and what I do, you're going to have to subscribe to YouTube as well. But I shared a screenshot of the restraining order that I've been filling out in progress to show people that, hey, I'm not messing around. I'm honestly not messing around. This has to end because right now, this is my main income source. This is my income source. This is my livelihood. I no longer sell insurance. I haven't sold insurance for about a year, almost a year now, right? And in the past, I was more, willing to kind of let things slide and see if things were going to pan out, involving Jamie and these people. But this has come to the point of where this is affecting my livelihood, and I have to fight for it, and I want to fight for it. I'm going to fight for it. Now, people are emailing me, and they're saying, don't do this to Jamie. Why are you doing this? He's just have fun, and this is just they're trying to make it sound. This is just YouTube, and this is just for fun, and all you have to do is ignore it. I've been doing that for the longest time. This runs very, very, very deep with Jamie. If it was just a YouTube beef going back and forth every now and then, that would be fine. But it's not that. Jamie is a graphics designer, and because he's good at graphics designing, he has basically taken my name and my likeness and used my intellectual property to sell T-shirts and other products that are created through his graphic designing skills. So I'm more concerned about that. I'm also concerned about the fact that he continues to orchestrate a bunch of people to simulcast me and to attack my channel and attack people that come to my channel through his continued sponsorship of Texas Caregiver, which it's still there, folks. All of these people are still getting paid by Brian. They're just not actively coming out here and stating it's coming from Texas Caregiver or Brian. But nothing has changed. Nothing has changed. And, Jamie is just never going to change. He's going to continue to, do this until he stopped legally. Folks, listen, I tried for 3 years to stop this, almost 3 years to stop this. Do you not think that, if Jamie was ever going to stop this, that he would have already done it? Just think about that. Okay? And let me just do this. Last night, I'm sorry, I just saw a notification here. That's funny to me. The people running interference, like I mentioned on my previous stream, are live. Have fun. Have fun crafting while you're live on the air with your 4 or 5 in the box, unless Janet helps bring another 5 people to your channel that don't even care about your crafting. Yeah, it's Muttnut's crazy world, who used to be a moderator here, who got sucked in by these people and convinced that I'm a bad person, right? You see, that's all coming from Jamie and his people. She's not bought and paid for. But her stream is called Chat While I Craft #Fellowships Online #Truth Tellers, sponsored by Empress Janet. That's pathetic. 5 in the box over there. Yeah, Queen, Queen, I respect your uninfluenced loyalty. Let me put it to you that way. I don't force anyone to be loyal, and you, Queen, don't put up with anything. You go where you want to go. You're here by choice. 5 in the box over there. Yeah, she's going to realize she made a mistake one of these days, and she'll be back. But yeah, that's what's happening. It's pathetic. Now, last night, the Haters Inc. channel, run by Josh, or whatever his name is, Josh Martin Verum, whatever he goes by, okay? He has many names. He has multiple personalities. I think he actually does have multiple personalities. He's a little bit, let's be polite and not say it. But he reviewed my entire stream from last night. And I'm not gonna flag you, Josh. You'll file a counter, and I'm not gonna flag you because you're small potatoes, right? You take out Brian, you take out Jamie, and you guys are on your own, and you're no longer getting paid for this. Or, if you don't have the orchestration of Jamie and Brian, I mean, you're not gonna have any audience, even if you do it, and you really didn't get that many views anyway. But you still get more views when you simulcast me or you do a reaction. He didn't simulcast me. Sorry, he did a reaction video to me playing my entire video once it went to a replay after I finished the live. And Like in Theory was in the chat. And so when Josh Haters Inc. was talking about or was playing the part where I was sharing, I was wondering, hey, Jamie, why are your parents not attached to your background check, and why can't we run a background check on your parents? Like, yes, we can find your parents on social media through My Life and other social media aspects, but when you actually run an actual background check through many of the various background companies, they're not attached to your name and they're not searchable. And I think they've disowned you. So this is what Like in Theory Jamie said in the chat. He's like, by the way, anybody could find me on Google along with my parents. Sure, because those profiles on My Life are not actual background checks, James. Those are profiles that take information from social media sites or take information from people inputting them there. So on the actual real background checks, James, you and your parents are disassociated. Nice try. And then he furthermore is trying to project and trying to, run interference on the truth. He says, it's not rocket science. No kidding, bro. And then furthermore, he says, I have zero faith this guy can fill out an RO. Well, you're going to soon find out about that, bro. You can have all the zero faith you want, James. Listen, James, look, how do you think I learned how to fill out these ROs? Think about it, James. Do you know what I'm saying? You have zero faith that I can fill out the RO. Well, we're going to find out. You're going to find out soon, bro. Maybe you're going to run all over the country now like JB. You'll start to run and try to avoid service, right, James? Is that what you're going to do? And make a spectacle out of it? I wouldn't be surprised if James started to run like JB Gunner did last year. If that's the case, James, that's fine. That's fine. We'll get you on the run, bro. And that'll put a dent in your pocket. But no, Brian will pay for that, right? Is that what you're planning to do, Brian? Are you planning to, once I serve James or when I try to serve James with the RO, are you planning on paying James to run all over the country with his Mustang and make content out of it? Is that what you're going to do? It's pathetic. I will find you. Trust me. I got the best PIs in the business. Furthermore, he says, LOL. And it's funny, Red Pool Jackson in the chat talking smack, trying to tell people that I don't have a high school diploma. I never graduated high school. I did graduate high school, you idiot. And Red Pool Jack, let me tell you something. I know who you are. And I suggest, dude, that you just back off from your stupidity. You're irrelevant anyway, Jack. You're irrelevant, right? But see, Jack, I know your real name. I know where you live. I know everything about you. And I'm not going to dox you, Jack, because that's against the terms of service of YouTube, and that's against the law. But I have your information, Jack. Trust me on that. And if it needs to be used for, purposes, legal purposes, Jack, no problem. Or I can just find out everything about you. I haven't looked into you that deep yet, Jack, but I can. If that's what you want, I can. So Jack was also saying you blackmailed them too. He said Jamie said the blackmail did the job, Jack. So now he's playing into this thing, trying to make it appear like it's a joke, but it's real. He did blackmail his parents. Then Jamie said, meh, it works, Jack, don't hate. And then Jamie said, I'll blackmail them again just to spite you guys. Then Jamie says, yep, Eli taught me how to blackmail good. No, Jamie, you're the blackmail master. I've tried to make deals with you. You call everything blackmail, James, because that's how you've lived your life. Without your blackmail, James, you would have absolutely nothing. Even though everyone is more than capable, including you, to create stuff without blackmail, you've earned everything that or you think you've earned in life has come through blackmail. Now you're all of a sudden playing into it to play it up for your audience. That's pathetic, right? And then he takes a stab at my dead dad. Eli's dad disowned him before he died. If you run my background check, all my family is associated with me, James, including my late father. I'm not hiding anything, James. I'm proud to be associated with my family, and including my brother is still associated with me. And people keep on saying, oh, your brother was, disowning you, like on that phone call with Ronaldo, who's a doctor, right? Do you not understand he was just trying to appease Ronaldo, the doctor, just to get him to stop calling him? But I don't care what you folks think. All that matters is what I know, right? Look at my background check. All my family's associated with me, including my grandma that, you folks have been allowing the doctor to troll and, use my grandma's name in your chats. See, if you guys are going to dox my family, then I'm going to have to do what I have to do. Just put it to you that way. Let me see here. Then furthermore, Jamie says, if you want to get somewhere in life, remember, blackmail is the way to go. I've got the screenshots, James, and whether you're joking or not, this could be used in court, James. I can show them this, James. And then furthermore, James says, it'll be a challenge for him to actually shut his mouth about me. No, James. No, James. You see, I've never made any money at your expense, James. There's nothing to take from you, on YouTube at least. Nothing to leverage. You're leveraging everything from me, and you're trying to run interference to cover it up. Furthermore, Jamie says, Josh, check for 200 for this stream is in the mail. He says, good work. And then a thumbs up. Then he says, night, bro. It's pretty pathetic. It's pretty pathetic. Let me check out the chat one more time, and then what I'm going to do is take a break before I get to the stories here. So where did we leave off? Big Bill's in the house. Snakes in the grass. That's right, Big Bill. Queen says, nope, I don't put up with nothing. That's right. That background photo from your walks. No, this is from pixabay.com. I get a bunch of royalty-free and copyright-free and with no attribution, commercial usage with no attribution photos. This is what I've been on hiking trails that look like this. Like when I've gone out to like the Central Valley area, which has a lot more farmland, they typically will put their hiking paths in the middle of like farms, or roads that go right along farms and stuff. So you have this beautiful scenery, and then you may have like a little, what do you call it? Like a waterway. It's not a river. It's not a lake. It's, what do you call it? So it's like a channel of water. But that's what you see over here on the left. And then you see a dirt path, which can be driven on or can be hiked on. It serves a dual purpose. A lot of farmers will allow public paths through their farmland, and when they do that, they get tax breaks and other benefits from the government. So it's a reservoir. That's right. Sorry, Big Bill. I couldn't think of the word. It's a reservoir to distribute water. Yeah, I feel a little cuckoo, but I knew what it was, but I needed your help. A canal? No, it's a reservoir. Big Bill's right. It's a reservoir. So yeah, it's a reservoir of water that just distributes water through that area, and it just so happens to run right along this farm and this dual-purpose hiking path slash, road for the farmer equipment, the farming equipment to drive on. So, oh no, sorry, a canal? You think it's a canal? You don't think it's a reservoir? Oh, you know what? It might actually be a canal because a reservoir would be much bigger, right? And then the canal is smaller and narrower to distribute the water from a reservoir or a lake or wherever the bigger body of water is. Yeah, it's all good. It's not a big deal, guys. It's water right alongside the path. It's beautiful, right? It's all good. It's all good. Let's see here. He will do the chicken dance, says Queen. What you on about? Are you asking what the topic is? We're going to be talking about my dating stories, an update on my dating stories when I get back from the break here in a second. I'm just going through the chat one more time. Ben over, Jamie's going down. Best in the business. So Ben over, why do you think Jamie's going down finally? Share your thoughts in the chat. I don't mind answering these questions throughout, the rest of the stream. Just let me know, folks, what your thoughts are. Big Bill says, I'm pretty sure that's blackmail, which is also a crime. But court fees aren't cheap. Yeah, but it's not going to cost me a thing to get this restraining order, Big Bill, because he has stalked me and made death threats to me many times. And on the RO form, it says itself. Like, it's funny to me that the doctor that I got a restraining order on is saying that I paid $400 and something for the restraining order when he could look at the form that says there's no fee for getting a restraining order if you were threatened, if your life was threatened, or you've been stalked, which both of them did that. And James has stalked me, and he has death threatened me many times. Not going to cost me a penny. That's beautiful. Let's see. Right, it's all semantics, says Hazy Train. Welcome to the show, Hazy Train. Glad to have you here, man. Glad to have you here. All right, folks. I'm going to step away and take a quick break. And then when I get back, we're going to get into these stories regarding those two women I was supposed to go on a date on. I was supposed to go on a date with them last week, and they seemed very promising, and they were very excited. But what happened? How did it change all of a sudden, right? And then I'm also going to share with you folks a couple of success stories that are up to the minute. And when I say up to the minute, I had a conversation with a wonderful woman last night that I've been talking with through Match and through texting over the past 2-3 days. And we communicated. I'm going to share with you the communication because this could have gone the opposite way. But I'm going to share with you what she said that owned it. And that's all that really matters. And then, interestingly enough, after I was talking with this woman, I got a reply from another woman on Match.com that I'm going to be talking with today. Because, guys, look, if you even think you found the one, like the conversation I had last night was great, and it seems like it may work out, right? But until you know something's going to work out after going on 1 or 2 dates, there's not a problem with talking to a couple of women or women to talk to a couple of men. But once you meet them, if it works out, like if that first meeting works out, right, and you want to move forward with them and they want to move forward with you, that's when you cut the rest of them off, right? But I got a message from a woman that sent me a message. I have to read it to you from Match. It was amazing, right? And we're supposed to talk sometime later today. And this woman is 37. She's 10 years younger than me. And she probably is still able to have kids, right? Right? I do want the possibility of having kids. Now, the other woman is 52, and she's closed the system, which would be fine. I don't absolutely have to have kids, but if it's a possibility and I can actually genuinely connect with a woman that's still fertile, that's great. Okay, that's great, right? Right. Ben Over says, it's over for James. He won't be able to talk about you anymore, Coach. And he lost his sponsor. He will be moving back with mom and dad. He didn't lose his sponsor, Ben. He's just getting paid in different ways. But I get it, bro. Him not talking about me is going to be a big, big thing. And that's why I have to get the RO. I don't want to get the RO. I don't want to do this, right? It's a waste of time. But there's no other way around it. Big Bill says, proof why we need the what is that politerate? I don't even know what that is, bro. Let us know, Big Bill. You're a very intelligent guy with some very fancy verbiage. So let us know what you mean by that. Okay, let me cue up some music here. Let me cue up some music here and step away for a break. Let me see here. Give me a second here. Do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do-do-do. All right, folks, music is all queued up. I'm going to step away for a 10-minute or less break. And when I get back, we're going to get into the dating stories, the updates, on some that didn't work out and some new potentials. So stick around. We'll be right back. Fix it. Gotta look presentable for the camera, Eli. Oh, yeah. Okay. All right. Scratch it. Welcome back to Morning Coffee with Coach Eli, live here on YouTube and also simulcasting live on Facebook. Glad you could all join me here today for this very special show. It is Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day to all the amazing mothers out there. Hope you're spending this day with your family and your loved ones, your children, your husband, your boyfriend, or whatever makes sense for you. I hope you're enjoying this special day. One thing I didn't do, I haven't checked on Facebook this entire stream. And checking over there, nothing happening on Facebook. It looks like all of my friends and family and professional network on Facebook is enjoying Mother's Day. That's great. They can always come back and check out the replay. Before I took a break here a little bit ago, I was sharing some updated community news. If it pertains to you and you understand the backstory and you missed it, you're going to want to go back and check out the replay, because as always, I'm one of the few creators that does disable the rewind feature, also known as the DVR feature, where you cannot seek back while I'm live for a couple of reasons. Number one, I want people to be here engaging live. I do the same thing on Facebook. I disable that feature on Facebook as well. In addition, if something does go wrong or something appears on the screen, I want to be able to, delete the stream or edit the stream afterwards before anyone gets a screenshot of it or tries to do something malice. Accidents happen while you're live, folks. And if you have the DVR enabled, people can seek back and then get screenshots and create, more issues. Now, some people may try to bypass that by screen recording certain things. If people are going to go through that amount of a great length to try to get one on me, I guess that's cool. But I try to prevent as much stupidity and bad things happening as possible. So that is that. So we talked about community news. Now we're going to get to the actual topic. When dating prospects seem too good to be true. One more time. When dating prospects seem too good to be true. Let's catch up on the chat first on the YouTube side of things before we get to that. EMK's in the house. Hello, EMK. How you doing? He says, hi, everyone. Queen is dancing on the break, or during the break. BWYA Gaming, let's dance, everyone. EMK says, let's get some exercise in. Absolutely. I'll be getting my exercise in for the day later today, in between while I work on some clerical work. It looks like Raleigh is back to botting. I missed you, Raleigh. I missed you. That's okay. He just doesn't stop. He's just pathetic. But anyway, who cares? Nunya says, hi, EMK. BWYA Gaming has the dancing emoji, the dancing woman emoji. BWYA says, how are you, EMK? EMK is good. He's been here before. Hi, Nunya. Doing great. And you? Everyone's doing quite well. Awesome. So let's get right to it. So there were a couple of women that I was talking with last week, and it seemed very promising. I had a couple of long conversations with them, and things were going great. Now, I'm going to get to this first woman here, where we were talking for like a week or so, a little over a week off and on. She was texting me throughout the days, and she would reach out to me for a phone call in between several of these days. We had many phone conversations. They weren't all terribly long, but we kept in touch. And when a woman is reaching out to you, she's interested. I firmly believe this woman was interested. But just because a woman is interested doesn't mean she's the right fit for you. Even if she's attractive, has her stuff together, is financially stable, and is a good person. There are some women out there that are what I like to call overly cautious, right? Now, a lot of men and women will argue the point that you never know what's going to happen nowadays. You have to protect yourself. There are crazies out there, right? I understand that to a certain extent. You have to be somewhat cautious. But if you're overly cautious and overly guarded and overly fear something's going to go wrong, like I don't want to meet a woman like that or date a woman like that, because she's always going to worry about something going wrong, even after being with you for a while. And she's also not going to allow the natural flow of progression to start from the very beginning. So, yeah, that's not a necessary question, Bill. Yeah, Bill, that's irrelevant to the conversation. I mean, it's not something that we're going to ban you on, Bill, but it's just, it's kind of like a pointless question based on what we're talking right now. So, let's see here. Where should I there's so much texting going on here, and I want to leave off from the last point where I left off. This was last Monday. Basically, this woman was trying to reach out to me during times where she had minimal free time to talk. And she said that when I'm with my kids, I can get interrupted at times and I have to cut the call short. And I basically told her, call me when you're free, when you have some free time away from your kids. Maybe when you go on a walk or something, where we can have an hour or so of uninterrupted time, right? And she asked me, "You up for chatting?" This was on May 2nd, which was last Sunday. I said, "I'm not free at the moment, but we'll be later tonight after 7 if that works for you. If not, we can try another time." She's like, "How about tomorrow? I'm going shopping and running some errands." And then I wrote back to her and said, "How about a time when you have nothing else going on, including errands? No rush on all this. When some time frees up, give me a day notice and I can fit it in." She goes, "Sounds good." Okay. I didn't text her after that. The next morning on Monday, this was last Monday, the 10th. The 3rd. She's like, "Good morning. How's your day going?" At 11:08 a.m. I wrote back a few minutes later, "I'm great, thanks. How about you? You've been thinking a lot about me, haven't you?" And then she gets back to me, and you have to really listen to what a woman says. When a woman is really guarded, she's going to talk like this. She goes, "Definitely processing our talks, etc." Right? Now, all women are going to process your initial conversation, right? It's a normal thing. But when women continue to process several phone conversations you've had, if after a few phone calls, they're not feeling a little more comfortable and less guarded, and they're still processing and they're not just willing to take a chance, that's someone that you may not want to give a chance to, because they're overly guarded, they're overly scared of getting hurt, or they're overly fearing that, something bad's going to happen to them if they meet up with you on a date, right? She goes, "I had a very full weekend, so I have been looking forward to some quiet time to regroup and reach out for another conversation with you." And then she wrote back and said, "I'm putting on my tennis shoes and heading out for a nice peaceful walk. Are you up for chatting?" I wrote back and I said, how long is your walk going to be? As long as we need it to be, she says. I think I mentioned part of this on that previous stream that I mentioned. But I want to just give you a little backstory. She's like, I thought it would be nice to chat on my walk so you have my full attention. So she's really trying to get my attention, which is great. I firmly believe this woman was genuinely interested. It's just the fact that she was way too cautious and too guarded. You know, if you're way too cautious and too guarded, when you meet up with someone, they're not going to be themselves and allow the natural flow of progression to let whatever's meant to be happen. What happens if we do have chemistry when we meet and we feel like making out, but you won't let me make out with you because you're guarded, because you're fearing that you're going to get hurt or something, right? I don't want to be with a woman like that. You know, I had wrote to her, damn, I love it. Give me 10 minutes, and I'll call you sexy woman. I was just flirting with her. You need to be okay with me calling you that. Deal? She goes, I think I can handle it. Okay, I think you love it. Call you in 10 minutes or so. I was trying to loosen her up. I was trying to say, hey, look, I can pick up on the fact that you're interested, but you're also very guarded. Loosen up a bit. I'm not a bad dude. We've been talking for a little while now, and we're going to plan on meeting. And I'm trying to loosen you up so we can actually have a good time when we meet, right? So she gave me a thumbs up. And then she wrote, who doesn't want to be considered sexy, right? I wrote back, true, especially when you feel the same way about the guy and you secretly want him, LOL. She's like, give me an extra 10, talking to my bro about Mother's Day. So she arranges a call with me, and then she calls her brother to talk about Mother's Day plans. This was last week, talking about plans for this weekend, right? No worries. I said, any idea regarding what? Also, let me know when ready. She gets back to me and says, ready now. She goes, that was a texting error idea part. I'm off the phone with my brother now. And then we had a conversation. And, you know, I was trying to arrange a meeting for her because she lived about almost 2 hours away. We were going to meet, like, I was going to drive 2/3 of the way initially. She was going to drive 1/3 of the way, right? And then she goes, you know, because I told her, why don't we meet at about 8 o'clock at night? There'll be less traffic, and we could meet at a, you know, coffee shop or supermarket parking lot. We can walk in the supermarket. We can, you know, it's well lit, etc. Right? And she was debating that, right? I'm trying to make this very simple. Yeah, Queen, do me a favor. Get rid of Big Bill. That's just, Big Bill is trolling, and he's not being, he's just trolling. It's ridiculous, Bill. It sounds like the doctor to me. Just ban people like that from here on out, Queen. I don't want to interrupt my show. Thank you, Queen. So this was Monday at 11:43 a.m. And I believe I did my show that afternoon. And then on Monday at 8:41 p.m., she's like, just checking in with you about meeting up tomorrow. I wrote back a few minutes later and said, we are meeting tomorrow and I will finalize the plans with you tomorrow morning. How's your night going and have you been thinking about things? She wrote back and said, I was thinking if I met you more, I'm not going to mention the city, met you halfway instead of a third of the way, would that help with meeting a little earlier and possibly with traffic? What she's telling me is that she's afraid to meet at 8 o'clock. She thinks that's too late because she fears when it gets dark that I'm going to do something crazy and harm her, right? So she's basically still very guarded, and I'm not liking this. I'm beginning to get turned off, right? Okay? I can understand being a little cautious. This is overly cautious. This is too much, right? She's like, I wrote back, yeah, a little bit, but let me figure it out overnight and we'll make it happen in a way that makes us both happy. How's that? Besides that, how's your night going? She's like, my evening is nice and quiet. I'm sitting in the backyard and the wind finally stopped making it relaxing. Cool. I go, that sounds exciting. Sorry, that sounds really nice and peaceful. I mean, are you excited about tomorrow? She's like, thinking about going into the hot tub. I wrote back to her. I said, I love hot tubs. May I join you? LOL. You know, you gotta have a little fun with it. You know what I mean? She's like, yes, looking forward to meeting up, seeing you in person. A little nervous about not meeting during the day. I haven't met someone at night. Right then and there, I'm now beginning to get more turned up. She continues to raise a big concern about meeting at 8 o'clock at night. And because it's you know, daylight savings time, it's not dark at 8 o'clock at night, right? But for some reason, meeting up at night in the evening, even if the sun is still out, is scaring this woman, right? It's not me. This is her. You got to understand, I'm just being me, right? And most women do not react this way. Some do, but most don't. She's way too guarded, right? She goes, possibly LOL to the hot tub thing. Nights like this make the hot tub worth having. Everything is so quiet. I go, well, if you prefer to and this is where I do the takeaway, right? This is where I'm like, I'm trying to make her aware that you're being ridiculous with this without saying that. So I wrote, well, if you prefer to meet another time, that's fine with me. I don't bite. Whatever makes you feel more comfortable. Why are you so nervous? I actually like who you are and would enjoy being around you. I think you like me too and wish I was there in the hot tub, LOL. I'm trying to loosen her up and say, look, I'm a dude, you're a woman. This woman was 48, I'm 47. You're a grown-ass woman, right? And you're trying to connect with a man and be with a man. You want a man to have a relationship and a life with. Yet you're throwing in so much resistance that it's turning me off. And it's probably turned off a bunch of other guys as well. She writes back and says, I'm not nervous about meeting. I just want to meet somewhere open and chill like a coffee shop atmosphere. Ma'am, you're lying. You are nervous. Now you're trying to cover it up. I just want to meet somewhere open and chill like a coffee shop atmosphere. I'm not sure if that's an option at 7 p.m. Well, it typically isn't. We can meet at a supermarket. We can walk in the supermarket. We sit in my car in a well-lit parking lot. Like, seriously, ma'am, if you don't have a good idea that I'm a safe guy to be around, then ma'am, it's not going to work. And then she writes, I know there's a cute downtown in the area where she wanted to meet me halfway instead of only driving a third of the way. But everything will probably be closed. What place did you think will work for meeting up? I said, if nothing else is open, we can grab coffee at a McDonald's drive-thru. There's a McDonald's drive-thru in that city where she wanted to meet halfway instead of a third of the way where we were supposed to initially meet, right? And I know that McDonald's. I used to run networking events in that city. So I suggested a McDonald's, go through a drive-thru. We can grab coffee together at a McDonald's drive-thru and hang out outside. Or if you feel comfortable, we can sit in my car or your car. We'll figure it out by tomorrow morning. And then I wrote back, I keep telling you I'll figure it out by morning, but I think you kept missing that message. LOL, you are super nervous. I'm calling her out. Now I'm at the point where I've almost lost all interest. Now this is a last-ditch effort to see if she'll just flip it around and say, okay, let's just meet. I'm being ridiculous, right? We can always shop at Home Goods and walk around chatting. I don't want to go shopping at Home Goods on a first date, ma'am. I want to see if there's chemistry and we end up making out. I don't want to go to Home Goods with you, ma'am, on the first date. Let me read that again. We can always shop at Home Goods and walk around chatting. What a great first date. That's so romantic, ma'am. Have you seen the movie Dirty John, she asked. I go, no. She goes, it's about online dating. It shows you how it can be dangerous. More so showing me how much of a scaredy cat you are, ma'am. I'm more on the cautious side. No kidding, ma'am. Ma'am, you're not just cautious. You're just closed off completely, ma'am. I won't get in someone's car or vice versa. That's fine. We could have walked around or something, ma'am. It's a well-lit area with lots of people around. I didn't miss the message. I'm just figuring out what I need to feel safe and comfortable in this type of situation. You're meeting a guy that you want to date and possibly be intimate with, man, and you're basically afraid to give me the chance? This is pathetic. She wants to take me shopping, says Queen. I'll get to the chat in a second. You folks tell me, what do you think about this so far? Is this being overly cautious? Is this being ridiculous? You tell me, ladies. Sometimes other people are unaware of how it can feel unsafe. Man, I want to feel safe too. Even though I'm a man, I still want to be safe being around you. After 3 or 4 phone calls and lots of texting, ma'am, I feel comfortable to the point of where I could sit in the car with you or take a walk with you down the street in a well-lit area or whatever. And because of the COVID time, we have to do other things, ma'am. You're not working with me, ma'am. You're a scaredy cat. I wrote back, I understand being cautious, but you seem a bit paranoid. Listen, I don't put up with BS, right? I wrote, I understand being cautious, but you seem a bit paranoid. Should we just do this another time? Maybe you aren't ready to meet yet. I just think you are overthinking this too much, and I don't think you would be relaxed tomorrow. I am just being honest. I don't want to be around with a woman that's going to be guarded. I want to meet a woman and see if there's chemistry. And if there's chemistry, we will make out and we'll see each other again and go hiking and start a romantic relationship. I'm not looking to just, go into a coffee shop and, which wouldn't be open at that time anyway, and just sit there and say, hi, how are you? Good, how are you? It's a great pleasure to meet you. It's a great pleasure to meet you too. Ma'am, I want to see if there's chemistry. This is pathetic. So she writes back and says, I will never be ready to just hop in the car with a stranger. You know how many women have met me this way and nothing happened? You know how many women have even asked me to pick me up on a first date to go hiking with them, right? You're just a very paranoid woman. Look, you don't want to get in the car with just anyone, right? But you got to take some chances in life if you want to get ahead. Not everyone is a psychopath, man. You think every single guy is a psychopath. Waiting to meet you will not make me feel safer. We have talked, but I have no clue who you are or where you live, etc. I've told you all that, ma'am. Now she's projecting, right? It would be stupid of me to just assume I do because we have had a few great conversations. No, ma'am. You're just very guarded. I'm very cautious. No, ma'am. You're ridiculous. I have 2 boys. I understand that, ma'am. My ex had 2 girls. And she met me the first night in a parking lot. And we sat in her car and talked. And then she came over and started kissing me. And then we made out. Because you know what? She's not afraid to go after what she wants, ma'am. And we had a great relationship. What's the point, ma'am? And the choices I make don't just affect me. No kidding, ma'am. I've already said that to you I had already said that in the many phone conversations. You can call it paranoid. That's what it is, ma'am. You're paranoid. If you think this woman's paranoid, put a 1 in the chat. If you think this woman's paranoid, put a 1 in the chat. But I think some people are not cautious enough sometimes. Ma'am, it's one thing to be cautious. It's another thing to be ridiculous. Ma'am. It's just where I'm at with the online dating pool. Ma'am, you're going to be lonely for quite some time. Then she writes, actually, you are the first person who has said I seem paranoid because the other guys are beta male, conformists, ma'am. Man, for the first time, you found an alpha man, an alpha male. That's not going to put up with this. It's not going to be a conformist, ma'am. Why have the other guys not worked out, ma'am? Because they're beta male conformists. That's the reason why. Other guys have seemed to totally get it with all the weirdos online. Ma'am, I understand there are weirdos. I'm not one of them. I've talked to you for a while. I wanted to meet and see if there's physical chemistry and mental and emotional chemistry, ma'am. But you're a chicken. Let's just call you a chicken. I wrote, okay, I understand. And I want to respect your wishes. On that note, I'm going to respectfully withdraw and wish you the best. It was nice talking with you. Take care. You know what she wrote? She did look up my number, right? This is why I use Google Voice. I don't give these women my actual number because I don't want it to find out everything about me, and when it doesn't work out, and then try to create issues, right? So this is what she wrote back. She goes, I need to feel safe. That's weird. You are not comfortable with that. Should have seen it coming with the Google phone number. Thanks for saving me time. You see how paranoid you are, man? You researched my number, and you found out that I use a Google Voice number to protect myself from crazies like you, man. That's a smart move on my part, man. It doesn't mean I'm a psychopath. It doesn't mean I'm trying to hide anything. It means that paranoid women like you, if it doesn't work out, or who knows what you would do. Maybe you'd go online and talk smack about me. I want to prevent that. So that's what happened with that one. That's what happened with that one. Now, here's the thing. Let me see here. Let me check out the chat here real quick before I get to the next one. And then I'll probably take another quick break, and then I will talk about some positive experiences. All right, let's see what the chat says here. Let me check out Facebook first. Nothing going on over there. Back over on YouTube. Let's see. She wants to take you shopping, says Queen. Yeah, she wants to go to Home Goods or whatever that store was on the first date. Ma'am, I'm looking for a romantic relationship. I want to make out with a woman and hold her and kiss her and be intimate with her and spend time with her. You want to go shopping on a first date. That's pathetic, ma'am. It's game over. You're going to be lonely and single for quite some time, ma'am. It's not going to work for me. BWI Gaming, it's like the John Mellencamp song. We can walk around all day long. That's nice, BWI Gaming. Hey, Information Man Show, welcome to the show. I had a grip on life, peace, and respect. Queen Helen Casey says, hello, Information Man. Nunya says, my thoughts exactly, Coach. Overthinking, most definitely. Right. She's not ready, and she probably never will be. She's too guarded. BWI Gaming, she has legitimate fears. Some women are scared because there are some weirdos out there. I understand her fear is legitimate, but if you don't take even a small chance, you're going to be lonely and single for a long time. There's no guy, there's no alpha male that would put up with what this woman did to me. Now, the beta males, they'll conform to anything. They're like sick puppy dogs. Beta man, beta man, beta man. Information Man Show, interesting. Yeah, isn't it, bro? That's why I share these stories. This is what you're dealing with nowadays. Mo Teague, you need to lighten up, Eli. It's hard for Mo. It's hard for a woman to meet in a place. She offered a place where she would be comfortable. You shut her down. She's just not for you. Mo, first of all, I don't need to lighten up one bit. That's, you know what? I respect your opinion. But to be quite honest with you, bro, that was quite rude. And I'm not going to ban you, Mo. You've been around, you've donated, you're watching with your family. You don't understand, Mo. Like, I want to be with an easygoing woman that, you know, is going to have a little bit of caution, just like I do. Do you think, like, I want to just meet up with any woman? No. I want to get a good feeling that it's safe to be around her, too, right? But she just was overly guarded. And that's how she is. And what that's telling me about her is that she's a very fearful person of getting hurt. Even if we started dating for 2 or 3 months, and let's say things seemed to be okay, and things got intimate, she would always be the kind of woman that would wonder, what am I doing all day, every day when I'm not with her? And she'd be texting me to make sure I'm not cheating on her or something. You see, you have to understand, Mo, that her behavior here is just the underlying behavior of what she hasn't shown yet, okay? A woman that is that fearful in something as simple as meeting up for a first meeting is going to have other fears that are going to affect the relationship down the road. This is a warning sign. Now, guys and gals, if you feel that this was a warning sign of of more things that would have come down the road regarding this type of behavior, put a 1 in the chat. You tell me, ladies and gentlemen, this is a warning sign of a woman that is just not ready. She has too many fears, and it stems beyond what she was fearing regarding the first meetup. Hazy Train, I think since she put herself out there, she needs to chill out a bit. She thought she was getting kidnapped. It sounds she freaked herself out. Right. She's being ridiculous, Hazy Train. I won't listen. Every so often you get a woman like her. I shared this story because I'd probably say like 1 out of every 25 women that I've talked to regarding meeting up in this way will react the way she reacted. So it's very few women. Most women use their intuition and can sense if they're going to feel comfortable and safe around the guy, right? So most women will not be as overly guarded as this one. I shared this story because if you come across a woman like this, guys, get out. They're just not ready. And it's going to get worse. If you conform to everything that she wants to do from the very beginning, she's going to try to control the entire relationship. She's going to always wonder what you're doing when you're not with her. She's going to text you all day, every day while you're trying to work during the week when you're not with her, thinking that if you don't get back to her, you're cheating on her, right? You do not want to be around a woman like this. What happened to Nuna's message? Oh, Queen, did you by mistake you banned Nuna? Okay, I'll read her messages. Oh boy. BWIA Gaming, but I understand your side of that also. Yeah, it's a waste of my time. I want to be with a laid-back woman that's not afraid to take a chance. I want to be with an open-minded woman, intimately, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually. This woman was completely closed off. Everyone puts a 1 in the chat. Queen says LOL. If it didn't feel comfortable to meet up, then she should have been straight up. Right. Right. Well, she basically, I started to sense her uncomfortable feeling, and I called her out on that. That's why I told her, I said, you're being paranoid, right? And when I told her she was being paranoid, it triggered her. I trigger everybody. But you know what triggers people? When you're truthful, it triggers people. It really triggers them. Nina says 1 sounds more like she is insecure. Well, that's a form of insecurity. Which is what I'm trying to say, Nunya. It is a form of an insecurity, but she's more insecure than just that. She's completely insecure about everything. It's just too much, right? Now, women are going to be more so naturally insecure up to a certain point, but this woman was behaving more insecurely than the normal amount of insecurities women come with biologically, in my opinion. It was just too much. Nunya, did you change your picture? Yes, I did, Queen. I always change them. Okay, cool. All right, folks. I'm going to mention one more brief story here. And it's not going to take too long. I'm not even going to read the text conversations because it all boiled down to one simple thing. I was talking to this woman, And we had a great conversation. We were on the phone for like an hour and a half. And, she liked my profile, liked my personality, liked the way I look. I liked the way she looked. It was all good, right? This woman was, I think, in her early 50s, if I remember correctly. And we were talking about meeting. And she asked me, have you been vaccinated yet? I'm like, no, I'm going to go get vaccinated over the next few weeks. I'm going to get vaccinated. Well, I won't meet up with somebody that's not vaccinated, or if until you get vaccinated, we need to wear masks and stay 6 feet apart. And I'm like, well, what is your fear? I mean, I don't have the virus and I'm getting vaccinated and I mask up where I need to mask up, but I don't want to meet up with a woman and stay 6 feet apart and have to wear a mask. That's just pointless. I know we need to be responsible, but that's a little too much, right? This is me, a slight left liberal, saying this, right? Okay, I agree with the conservatives to a certain point on their thoughts regarding this. You got to be cautious, but when people are overly cautious, here's another example of a woman being overly cautious, right? Okay, and if that was her prerequisite to meet up with somebody, why did it take her an hour and a half to mention that? Why won't you tell me that right away? Right? It's come to the point where now when I talk with women, I'm asking them very first thing, what are your thoughts about dating during COVID? It's really getting to that point, right? And look, BWYA Gaming, I know you're conservative, right? But you're not an extremist. The reason why you and I get along is because you're just like Queen. You're a little bit more on the right, right? But I think you also like views that make sense for everything, right? Now, most people on the left are going to be all for let's get vaxxed and this, that. Now, I'm all for getting vaccinated, right? But I'm also for allowing people to make a choice. Just like with abortion, I think women and men should have a choice, right? I'm pro-choice, right? Do I feel that people should, terminate a pregnancy? No, I believe in life. But why am I pro-choice? Because I feel people should be allowed to make their own individual choices with their own bodies, right? Does that make sense? So you got to have some caution, but don't completely close yourself off to the point of where, oh, Eli, you're not vaccinated? Okay, here are my rules on that. Okay. I told her, I said, well, let me think about it and I'll get back to you. I never got back to her, right? So what you're also getting now in the modern dating world through COVID is you're getting about 1/3 of the women that are overly cautious about COVID, right? Now when I hear these women prioritizing COVID over getting to know me, that turns me off. I'm not saying it shouldn't be taken seriously. It should. But yes, these women that are saying, okay, you're not vaccinated yet, why don't we wait for you to get vaccinated? I'm going to do it in a couple of weeks. And quite frankly, in a couple of weeks, things could be different, So that's what happened here, right? So guys, don't waste your time even on a 1-hour phone conversation talking with a woman online. Get to the point and ask questions that are going to be deal breakers. And if these women say, well, you're asking too many questions, then if they don't answer your questions, then just say, okay, best of luck to you. It's not going to work. Take care. And then hang up and block their number. You got to understand, you want an easygoing woman that's laid back. You want a woman that takes care of herself and is responsible, but is not ridiculous, right? Yeah, it's COVID. Yeah, we need to wear a mask. Yes, we need to make sure that we don't have it, right? We don't want to spread it to each other. And yes, when we meet and we go to dinners and places where, masks are required, cool. But when you and I are driving in the car, we don't need to wear a mask. When we're in a hotel room, we don't need to wear a mask. When we're, hiking, we don't need to wear a mask, in my opinion. right? But if you're too chicken to trust someone that's been to their doctors a few times and is a clean person, and I'm going to trust you that, you don't have it. You got to take some chances, folks. You don't take some chances, you're not going to get anywhere in life. When there's too much red tape, that's where I draw the line. That's where I suggest you all draw the line. If there's too much red tape involved, you got to get out. Because someone else out there is going to be a better fit for you, is going to make it a lot easier for you to get to know them. Let me get to the chat, then we're going to take one more break here. Queen says, Nunez, sorry, I banned you by mistake because I thought it was someone else. Nunez says, no, I'm in this area. Okay. Ben Over says, Coach, what is the right way to talk to millennial women? The same way I've been mentioning it, bro. There are some millennial women that are, good, decent women, more submissive than dominant, and are considerate, kind, and nurturing and sweet. And there are many of them that are the opposite. You see, dude, it doesn't matter whether they're millennials, Gen Zers, the I generation, or Gen Xers, right? Or even baby boomers. It doesn't matter their generation. Now, is the millennial generation and after that, is that generation, have they been more so indoctrinated into this modern world of women being this way? Yes, but there are still some women that are good women and more submissive and more, open to taking that chance. They're hard to find. I'm not going to lie, bro. Like, if I had to say out of every 10 women, you're going to find less than one. Because the percentage is, let's just do this. Let's even go higher than that. I will say that probably 1 out of every 100 women you encounter are going to be non-conforming to the stereotypical modern way of society and what society has made women to be artificially today, in my opinion. You understand what I'm saying? So 1 out of every 100, that means you're going to go through a lot of bad fish and red tape and women that have been indoctrinated into this culture. Like that's just, dude, you can't find these women, dude, unless you put yourself out there. That's what's frustrating. That's why as we get further and further into this millennium, now we're in 2021, as the years continue to go by, which is what I'm trying to say, it's going to continue getting worse. And the only way we're going to stop this is if we teach the beta males to not be conformists, right? If you teach all beta males and make them all alpha males and don't, suck up to women and give in to women and be sick puppy dogs, then women are going to have to change their ways, right? Despite, their liberty, right? You see what I'm saying? It is the beta males, the conformists, that are basically, ruining it for all of us, especially the alpha males. Hazy Train says, LOL, BWY Gaming, oh no, a germaphobe. Yeah, that's what she is. Yeah, that's what she is, a germaphobe. May as well just talk on the phone. Right, what's that going to do? I'm not like these people out here on YouTube that like to get on a StreamYard panel after a live stream ends and create circular activity, right? I'm not looking to have circular activity digitally. And I'm not even looking for circular activity. I'm looking to just hang out with one woman in person and go on romantic weekend getaway trips and just, enjoy their company mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and physically. That's it. It's pretty simple. It's pretty cut and dry. Be cautious, but live your life. Right, says Hazy Train. Right, that's right. Queen says, Eli, the government is not allowed to force the jab on anybody. No, they're not. They cannot force you to get vaccinated, but Biden is pushing it. Now, I know you're not for it, Queen, I believe, I'm for it. But here's the thing. I'm not going to project that onto you or anyone. I'm going to share my opinions and thoughts and say, hey, look, I think everyone should get vaccinated. But if you don't, that's okay because I'm going to be vaccinated. And I'm not worried about being around people that aren't vaccinated because I am. I'll be protected regardless, right? But it should be at the choice of each individual. And that's how I've always felt about everything. Bend over with respect is good, says Nunya. PWIA says, I am vaccinated and believe in wearing a mask, but I am not germophobic. Right. You're not letting it consume your life, BWIA, to the point of where you can't live your life, right? Louis Fuller says, BRB. All right, folks, we are at 1 hour and 35 minutes. I'm going to cue up a little more music, and then I'm going to share with you folks a couple of potential success stories that seem to be going really good with two women I'm talking with now. Now, again, you never know; it could change. But these women have responded in certain ways that lead me to believe there's a good chance that one or both may work out, and I may have to choose between one. And that's the position, guys and gals, you want to put yourselves in when you're in the dating field, whether you're a man or a woman. You want to put yourself in a position where, hey, you've got a couple of people you're talking with, and they both seem to be going well, right? And the reason why it's good to talk to a couple of people, not too many, a couple of people, is because you're not going to come off as overly needy to one side, because when one isn't around to talk with you, the other one will be, right? So you're not going to be, especially as a man, you're not going to be like, feeling like, you're going to reach out to one or both these women, too often. As a matter of fact, let them come to you, right? And so if you're talking with one woman that you really like, then she's going to be busy for like 3 or 4 days while you're getting to know her. And then the other one is not busy, right? She's keeping you occupied while the other one that you really like as well is doing something else. And there's nothing wrong with that, at this point, because we haven't met up. Now, once we meet up, if there's chemistry there and it goes somewhere at that point, all the others just, I'm sorry, I decided to give somebody else a chance. And best of luck to you. That's the way to handle it. So, let me cue up some more royalty-free YouTube music. Take another quick break. And then we're going to come back and share those stories and wrap things up probably in the next 30 to 45 minutes. So get all your questions in now, folks. Because again, like I said, when I get back, we're going to go another maybe 30 or 45 minutes max or so. Let's see. Okay. Okay, music is all queued up. I'll be back in 10 minutes or less, folks. So stick around. We'll be right back. yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Scratch it. Welcome back to Morning Coffee with Coach Eli, live here on YouTube and also simulcasting live on Facebook. This is the third and final segment of the show. Once again, happy Mother's Day to all of the amazing mothers out here in this amazing world we live in. It's been a very interesting world lately, but it's still amazing. And, I have to just start off by saying this. It's always a great pleasure seeing my good Greek buddy, Riff Magos, join the chat. And I've got to say, Riff, you're a smart and very, very strong man. Riff is an actual MGTOW. He's a man that's gone his own way. He's one of the few MGTOWs that I actually respect because he's a good guy and he doesn't project onto anyone else. He just wants to live his life. He's chosen to withdraw from dating and marriage, and I respect that. It takes a very strong man to do that. I myself have way too much testosterone and enjoy the company of a woman and intimacy way too much to give that up. But a man that can just withdraw from that to make a statement because, of the way the modern world has gone, I completely respect that and I get the point. I think what would really turn things around, and let me share this with you folks, because I follow this other channel called 21 Studios. And 21 Studios is run by a guy that he calls himself the president of the manosphere. Now, I used to try to call myself that as a joke back in the days of my former channel. But this guy has been on a campaign lately that is discussing Make Women Great Again. It's kind of like a play off of Donald Trump's MAGA, Make America Great Again. So he took a spin off of that, and he's been talking about Make Women Great Again. And it's not a derogatory thing. It's not him saying, or us guys saying, that we disrespect women or don't appreciate women's equal rights and all that stuff. It's just the way that these changes for women in the modern world are affecting them with their dating and marriage lives is just, it's insane. And you just look at the numbers. Look at the divorce rate. I keep talking about this. The divorce rate here in the U.S. and pretty much all over the world globally is almost 60%. That means more than 1 out of every 2 marriages will fail at some point and end up in divorce. Now, back in the days of traditionalism, it was like, less than 20% or 15%, right? Okay. So, I think there's a lot of truth with the underlying message of saying make women great again. It's not saying that women aren't great. It's not saying that women shouldn't have equal rights or be able to work or be independent. But it's saying what has making women independent done to relationships that were biologically made for a woman to be dependent on a man, right? Biologically, we have not changed one bit. But socially, we've been engineered to be a different way, right? That's just my opinion. You tell me if I'm wrong. It's just nuts, right? And that's why you hear me share these stories of going out there and trying to find a woman that is independent, because all women are independent nowadays, that still has some traditional values that are attractive to any decent, strong, confident alpha male like myself. Anyway, let's get to the chat here before we get to the final segment. Let's see. Queen says, let's dance. Riff says, the ruminating misadventures of an online dating crash test dummy. Absolutely. Absolutely. That's what I've been lately. Queen says, hello, Riff. Riff says, hello, Queen. Nunya says, hi, Riff. BWI Gaming, hello at Riff. Hello, Gaming, says Riff. Riff says, and never been happier. Some of us express our testosterone levels via sarcasm and playing guitar and taking the piss out of people who take themselves just a wee bit too seriously. You're right, Riff. And that's why I have the utmost respect for you, bro. Even during the times where we didn't talk because we were pinned and pitted against each other by other fake MGTOW people in this community that we've been a part of in the past. But we've separated ourselves from it now, and it's never going to go back the other way, man. I have the utmost respect for you. And again, you're one of the few guys that's a true MGTOW. You're very secure within yourself, and you're happy within yourself, and I firmly believe that. I've talked to you by phone before. We've talked through Messenger privately many times, and you're a good dude, and I'm glad that we've reconnected, and you're back to being a moderator here and being a part of this channel, man. Much love and respect from Eli. And my mods are just getting mad at Nightbot for saying you're using the blocked word. Nightbot cannot time out mods. He'll just give you a warning, which won't do anything because you're a mod as well. All right, so let's get to the second part of the topic, when dating prospects seem too good to be true. So let's share a couple of positive stories that seem to be going successful. I get a good feeling about these stories here. So let me go to the Match.com app. And this was on May 5th. I saw this woman's profile. She's a beautiful 52-year-old woman that lives in the North Bay area near where my ex used to live. Nice area. And people that live there, they can't afford to live there unless they've done well. So you typically are going to get a much better quality woman that lives in an area that's considered to be like more so an exclusive area, like the North Bay area, which is called Marin County, one of the most expensive places to live on the planet, followed by number 2 where I live in San Mateo County. And San Francisco separates Marin County and San Mateo County. San Francisco is a city and a county within itself, which separates the North Bay and Marin County, and south of San Francisco, which is called the Peninsula, which is also known as the West Bay, San Mateo County, where I live. So 52-year-old woman, she's divorced, and nice pictures, nice profile. So she writes back to me and says, "Hi, Eli, I read your profile and like how you put it all out there. That's great. I appreciate that. I can relate to a lot of what you said. Good. I'm truly in a good place for dating and would love to find love and romance. Great. You seem like a fun, energetic person who loves life. That's exactly who I am. Bingo. I'm interested in getting to know you." Wow, that says it all. Most women won't even say I'm interested. They'll just say, "Hey, how are you? How's it going? I'm interested in getting to know you." Excellent. Now I'm going to replace her name by saying ma'am. "Ma'am, I love your energy. What's your cell number and I'll text you to arrange a call." I'm like, why waste time? She's interested in getting to know me. So let's get down to business. I don't got no time to mess around. What is this, right? She gets back to me right away. Great. My cell is, and gives me her number. BWY says, Nightbot has a vendetta and should be banned. Sorry, that's not going to happen. I've worked hard to clean up this channel, but I know you're messing with me, BWYA Gaming. All right. So let's get to this, ladies. Let's get to the texting, and then I'll get to the call we had last night. Good morning, ma'am. It is Eli from Match. How's your day going? I messaged her the next day. right? I waited. I'm like, I'm not going to be desperate. I'll message her the next morning, right? She gets back to me about a couple hours later. This was on Thursday of last week. Hi, Eli. My day has been good. Just got back from a lunchtime walk with my dog and now heading into an afternoon of Zoom meetings. Fun stuff. I'm sure it is, ma'am. That's your version of YouTube for me, right? Zoom. And that's your business too. I get that. How's your day going? I wrote back and I said, hello, ma'am, instead of her name. I didn't call her that. I just say that so the trolls don't get her name. You really have a great attitude, and I look forward to hearing it by phone. Exclamation point. My day is going quite well, and thanks for asking. Do you have time to talk by phone later tonight? And if so, what time do you typically go to sleep on a work night? Let me know when you get a moment, and we'll go from there. Okay. She gets back to me about 3 or 4 hours later. I'm meeting a friend for dinner tonight, and I'm not sure when I'll get back home. I normally go to bed around 10, so I can text you if I'm home 9-ish. If it's later than that, or you'd rather not play it by ear, we can find another time. Very communicative. I like that. I wrote, no worries, man. You can message me when you are free. If I happen to be available at that time, we can talk then. If not, we can schedule a time down the road. The key word you want to get into these women's heads is schedule. Because if a woman is not willing to schedule a call with you, that means she's not interested. Women that play it by ear on the fly. Now, this woman was saying, hey, if you want to play it by ear and maybe find a way to talk today, I'm cool with that. Or if you would prefer to schedule something, I'm cool with that too. You understand what the difference is? Women that are not willing to block out a little bit of time to put something in the books definitely are really not that interested in you, and they've got a lot of other guys that they're scheduling their time with. Does that make sense? I hope it does. Okay. Then she liked that message. Now, she got back to me on Thursday and said, hey, Eli, I'm home and assuming it may be too late to talk. And this was at 9:49 p.m. I ask, how late are you going to be up? She writes 10:30-ish. That would literally give us 40 minutes to talk, maybe 30. I don't want to rush it, right? If I have a time limit, it's not going to be natural. It's going to be like me trying to fit in everything that I want to talk about and I want to hear from her or hear about her. I don't want to have a time limit. So this is how I handle this. I wrote, okay, let's talk tomorrow then. I don't want to rush our call. Text me in the evening when you are free and we'll make it happen. Good night and sweet dreams. She's like, okay, sounds like a good plan. Good night and sweet dreams to you. She told me sweet dreams too. Great. This is great. I told her to text me in the evening when you are free. And that was going to be the next day, the next night, Friday, right? Well, what happened? What happened? Give me a second here, folks. Give me a second, folks. All right, Queen, do me a favor. Can you start banning all these people that are rating this chat? This is stupid. Just get on out of here. Queen, are you still around? You're the one that knows how to mod this chat the best. Let me know. Oh, you are? Well, Queen, then go ahead and unban the people that I banned that you know are legit. If these people are legit, Queen, can you just go back and unban them and just make sure that nothing bad is happening to the chat? Okay, I want to continue here. So, so here's what happened. She agreed to texting me the next day, which was Friday, and we're going to talk that night. But what happened? What I always assume happens when we get caught up with their friends, their work life, they have difficulty balancing their work personal life, blah blah blah. Right? She didn't text me. Right? We didn't talk. So Saturday morning, I sent her the final message I was going to send her. Right? I wrote back at 8:51 a.m. on Saturday, yesterday. Hi, ma'am. I didn't hear from you last night as we discussed on Thursday. Let me know if you are still interested in talking. That wasn't desperation. I waited a full day. It's okay to do that, guys. Sometimes women get legitimately busy. Most of the time, they're not interested. But with somebody that I had a great conversation with through texting and the Match.com app, up until this point, it was worth a shot, right? So what happened? 6 minutes later, she gets back to me and says, "Hi, Eli. I'm sorry I didn't follow up. I know that is annoying." Wow. Well, thank you for owning it, ma'am. I can respect that. We had a family camping trip planned, Zoom last night, and I was done after that and went to bed early. I should have texted to let you know what was up. Well, ma'am, you might have been talking with another guy and it didn't work out. I'm not going to question you on that because you're being honest. You're owning that you forgot to text me when you agreed you would, right? So whatever you did, none of my business, but I'm thinking you might have talked with another guy, or maybe what you're saying is true. Who knows? Doesn't matter. You owned it, right? She writes furthermore, I should have texted to let you know what was up. Anyway, I'll be driving to, I'm not going to mention the city she was driving to, a particular city, for a college friend brunch this morning. I can talk 10 to 10:45. She gives me a 45-minute window while she's driving. Guys, never talk to a woman the first time while she's driving. When you're getting to know a woman, you want them to make extra special effort for you. Now, once you're dating them and you've been with them, sure, no big deal. But you never want to be a convenience call when you're getting to know a woman. Never. Okay? Or, I'm planning on being home tonight. Let me know if either of those times work for you. I wrote back and I said, thanks for your honesty. How about we talk around 9 p.m. tonight? Direct, decisive, you make a time, right? Let me know if that works for you. Excuse me a second. Give me a second here, folks. All right. I think we should be back here. She writes, 9 sounds good. Talk to you then. So I had taken a nap. I was so tired. I was working on some clerical work and stuff, and I was so tired. I took a nap, and I got up. I was making some coffee, so I texted her at 8:59 p.m., 1 minute before our call. I said, hi, ma'am. I'll call you at 9:15 if that still works for you. She gets back and says, hi, Eli. Sure, 9:15 works. Now, to make a long story short, we got on the phone, and it was a great conversation. She was very feminine. She has a good job. She, bought a new home, new condo recently in the North Bay area. And she was very interested to start off the conversation talking about past dating experiences. And I said, you know what? This is cool. I'm not afraid to talk about it, man. And the fact that you're open to talking about it shows that you're truly interested in getting to know me because a lot of times when you talk about past experiences with other women through online dating, that turns off a lot of these women because they're not in a good place and they don't want to hear negative stories about other women because they're in the same boat, right? And they don't want you to figure that out. But because of the nature of my profile and how direct that she was in hers, we talked about it. And then, I told her what I did as a coach, and she said that she's been thinking about becoming a life coach as well. And I'm like, oh, really? Who would have figured that, right? And I said, ma'am, I'm not trying to predict the future here. You never know what's going to happen. If this works out between us, I would love to help you grow your coaching business, and maybe we can collaborate on some things, right? Wouldn't that be great to date someone that you're physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually attracted to, that loves the same thing you do, that loves personal development and helping people, right? How much could you support each other and work together on some things down the road, right? Now, I'm not going to bore you with the rest of the story, but we opened up about everything, and she did not question me one time about how personal things got. I kept telling her, I said, listen, I don't want to cross the line here. You seem very open. And I said, look, I'd rather talk about everything on a first phone conversation than find out 3 months down the road there's a deal breaker that's going to, waste our time after we're emotionally attached to each other. She goes, you know what? I respect that. I'm the same way. Feel free to ask me anything. I said, feel free to ask me anything too. It just flowed naturally. Now, she told me, we talked about, flexibility and schedule. And she goes, with guys that she dated previously, like a guy she dated previously for a couple of years. This guy actually lived like 4 hours away from her by car. They would see each other, 3 weekends out of the month. And 1 weekend she would spend with her friends. And so we were talking about flexibility. I said, you know what? I don't need to see my partner all the time, but I do love spending time with them most weekends, going hiking and nice romantic weekend getaway trips and dinners. I said, I'm very flexible. Your schedule sounds very, very reasonable. I said, it's feasible. And that's another thing why, I feel people on the first date on the first phone conversation should talk about these things, because you have to see how feasible it is, even if it does work out. If it does work out and, one side or both sides are too busy to date, it's not even worth pursuing it, right? So, yeah, she had told me she has this hiking trip planned with her friends for like a week and a half. She's leaving next Thursday or Friday. She goes, we can briefly meet before I go on my trip, or we can wait till I get back. I said, well, ma'am, I think we should meet before, because by the time you get back, you know what happens. A lot of time passes and things kind of wear off, and I think you're an amazing person. I'd love to get to know. Hey, why don't we meet up like, Tuesday or Wednesday for like an hour or so and see if the chemistry's there. If it's there in person, then hey, great. Then, you'll be on my mind. I'll be on your mind. And when you get back, we'll continue. And she totally, no questions at all. So we're probably going to meet up on Tuesday or Wednesday, and we'll see what happens from there. Let me check out the chat before I share my final story, because after I got off the phone with this woman last night at around, we were done by 11:30. Around midnight, I get this other message out of the blue from a woman that I had sent a message on Match, like I think it was last week. And I'll get that in a second to wrap this up. And the reason why I'm talking with this other woman too is because, number one, she seems cool. I'll share the conversation in a second. Number two, when you're talking to two women at the same time before you meet, it gives you the feeling of the abundance mindset. And when you have the abundance mindset, you're not going to come off as weak, needy, or desperate, or insecure when talking to any of these women. Because you're like, okay, this first woman I met sounds great, right? But now I've got another great woman I'm talking to, right? And if I've got two women that are good prospects that I'm talking with, I'm not going to overly focus energy on one to the point of where I come off weak, needy, desperate, or insecure. You see what I'm saying? And that way it's going to give both of these, prospects the best chance for working out. I have a feeling both of these will work out, and I'm going to have to choose one, right? That's the position, guys, you want to put yourselves in when it comes to dealing with women. Seriously. That's the position you want to put yourself in right there, the abundance mindset, because you're going to come off more natural that way. If you only have one person and you're focusing all your energy on them, you're going to probably make mistakes and overdo it and turn her off, even though it would have worked out if you didn't, turn her off by being weak, needy, desperate, insecure. Woman shows interest. Eli responds. Woman backs off. Can we see a pattern here? Of course. That's the seesaw battle between men and women, Rick. You know that. Please use 2 emojis because Nightbot is timing people out 5 seconds. Yeah, if you emoji bomb, you're getting timed out. That's why I have Nightbot. Diamond Dave, rewrite. I wish that men would flee California girls. That's funny, dude. Nanya says, thank you, Queen. Sounds awesome, says BWI Gaming. IMK, Riff Magos, all these women are not used to an alpha male. They're not. They're used to beta mons. Beta mon, beta mon. The beta mons are destroying it for the alpha males. That's what's happening. The beta mons empower women to get a lot more than they bargained for when it came to being liberated. That's the bottom line. I've said it before, I'll say it again. Grumpy Dads, Variety TV, can't stay, be safe. All the best, cheers from the Great White North. Thanks for stopping by, Grumpy Dads, Variety TV. BWI Gaming at Rick Muggles, LOL, right? Queen says, hit the thumbs up. All right, one more thing here before we get out of here. We're at 2 hours and 15 minutes. So, last night, after that phone call, give me a second here, I need to clear my throat. All right, we should be back. After that phone call, I was like, okay, this is cool. I'm going to get some rest and, hey, I look forward to making plans with this woman and going out my weekend and doing what I got to do, right? But when you least expect it, you get another good response. Good responses come in pairs, right? That's just Murphy's Law, in my opinion. So, on April, actually, here's the thing. This is interesting. I sent this woman my initial message on April 11th. She must have been talking to some other guys. Or maybe she must have been signed off of Match for a while. I pay for women to be able to respond to me for free. So maybe she didn't have a membership and just, decided to log in and got a free message from me. So this was like, I sent her my message almost a month ago. Last night at 11:59 p.m., this woman sends me a response. She writes, "Hi, Eli. I'm really impressed by your profile. We have a lot in common, and it seems we are looking for the same things in life. I think you are very attractive and would like to run your head for good luck." I think you meant to say rub. I think she meant to say rub your head for good luck. I hope to get to know you more. And then she mentions her name. Now I'm thinking to myself, is this the doctor trolling me because he makes fun of my bald head, right? So I get back to her right away. I was right there by my phone. And I wrote, "What's your number, ma'am? And if you are still up right now, I'd love to call you." I was like, let's see if we can push this, right? She's like, "I'd like to talk to you, but maybe we plan for tomorrow. I just fell in love with my bed all over again. Got new sheets today. She's making me aware of her bed." That's a good sign. I like that. Soft sheets on skin is the best feeling. Definitely makes definitely makes for a happy girl. I'll tell you what else would make you very happy, ma'am. I'm going to leave that one alone because the trolls will cut that. But I've been known to be good at many things, ma'am. I get it. I get it, right? Now, at the same time, I was responding to her. I said, tomorrow is fine. What's your number? And I'll text you tomorrow. And right when I sent that message, shortly, like a split second before, she sent me her number. I'm like, got it. I'll text you. She's like, have a nice night, Eli. Glad you wrote me. I'm like, good night, sweet lady. I'll text you tomorrow and we'll connect. I feel good about this. Sweet dreams. Now, what did I do? What's the first thing I did? This is why I run background checks legally, right? It's not just to make sure that they don't have a criminal record or anything like that, right? But I want to make sure that these women are not the doctor. So I ran a background check because this woman said, I think you are very attractive and would like to rub your head for good luck. Rip is like, so I ran a background check on her and she's legit, right? So I know with the doctor, this woman literally wants to rub my bald head for good luck. I'm like, that's great, ma'am. That's great. What a night, I'll tell you that. All right, so I didn't text her last night. I sent her a text. This woman has two, I believe, teenage kids. I sent her a text. In the morning, I said, hi, ma'am, it's Eli from Match. How's your day going? Right? She's like, and she got back to me about 40 minutes later. That was pretty quick. Good morning. Day is fabulous. I have 2 teen girls, just like my ex Dana, who are spoiling me with love and thoughtfulness. She's in a good mood. Her girls are taken care of for Mother's Day. She feels appreciated, right? This chick has a good attitude. Another one with a great attitude. That's what you have to look for. So I have 2 teen girls who are spoiling me with love and thoughtfulness. And then she wrote some, broken English, but I think she was just doing this to be funny. I was woke up with breakfast in bed, eggs and avocado, coffee and gifts, and plan to play in the dirt, planting flowers most of my day. Very feminine. So she likes to play in the garden, feminine thing, right? Plants and stuff, but tomboyish type of thing, not afraid to get her hands dirty at the same time. Perfect. Exactly the type of woman I'm attracted to, right? She's like, looking forward to chatting with you later. I wrote, Happy Mother's Day. Let me know the soonest you are free after 2 p.m. and we'll talk by phone. For now, enjoy your special day. I figured I would end this stream before 2, and we could talk briefly before I get back to my clerical work. Now, I sent that at 11:05 Pacific time. It is now 1:34 p.m. Pacific time. She hasn't got back to me yet. She's having fun with the girls. It's Mother's Day. I don't expect a reply right away. Maybe later tonight. If she happens to be free, in the afternoon, we'll talk. If not, I'll fit her in the evening. But you see, folks, you got to understand one thing about men and women, but this is what I've more so realized about women. Get your questions in and comments in right now. I'm about to go off the air in a second. Nothing happening on Facebook. Okay, no big deal. Attraction is a must, not a choice. Women are either going to be attracted to you guys from the very beginning when they see your profile, your pictures, what you write, your communication through texting on the app, and texting by phone, and then getting to the phone call. They're going to hear your voice. Women are either going to feel it from the very beginning or they're never going to feel it at all. this other woman I talked to last night was saying, I was dating this guy and I really didn't feel it. I didn't feel it like right away. But I gave him a chance to see if things would change. I went on 5 dates with him, and I'm like, well, hang on a second here. Excuse me, I need to drink a little more liquid. She gave him a chance and went on 5 dates with him. And I told her, I said, that's your choice. I said, for me, like, if I don't feel it for somebody, from the beginning and doesn't continue, it's never going to be there. I was telling her, look, attraction is a must, not a choice. And you already had decided in your head, or you figured out that you just weren't feeling it, right? And, after 5 dates, you're like, okay, I've had enough of this. Now, I asked her, I'll mention this, it's interesting. I said, sounds like this guy was, insecure and had some other issues. I said, was there, and I said, I'm not trying to get too personal. Because she wants to be a life coach too. So she's kind of learning some stuff from me as well, right? While we're talking. And I said, not trying to get too personal, but did this guy even try to kiss you after one date? Like, it sounds like this guy didn't even make a move or anything. Oh, no, there was affection. There was, that was all, that was there. So in essence, she was trying to subtly tell me that, they were banging, right? I didn't tell her this, but I figured what happened is that this guy was good in the sack. She hadn't been with a guy, that made her feel that way sexually in a while. And the sex was great, but she just wasn't feeling an emotional bond or she wasn't mentally stimulated, right? So there's no reason. You guys tell me if I'm wrong in the chat, or gals too. There's no way a woman would keep a man around for 5 dates if she didn't feel an emotional bond and the sex wasn't good. This guy was probably banging the hell out of her, right? But after, 4 or 5 times of doing that and having no emotional bond and not having great conversations and bonding beyond that, women are out. That's what happened. So yeah, attraction is a must. It is not a choice. And this is my opinion. This is what's always worked for me. It's either going to be there from the very beginning, from seeing each other's profiles, the pictures and reading the profile, from communicating on the app or the dating site, to texting, to getting on the phone and feeling that out, and then meeting the first time and seeing if there's even a kiss involved. I'll tell you this right now. If there isn't at least a kiss, a passionate kiss the first time you meet the person, the spark is not there. When women are into you, they want to be as close to you as you want to be to them. That's the truth of the matter. That's that. Let me get the chat here real quick. And let's wrap this up. Get your questions in, folks. We're about to go off the air. Cue Dr. Evil, Alpha Males. Dr. Evil. Yeah. Says Riff. Bald head fetish, says Riff. Interesting. Yeah, some women like it, some women don't. You just have to be honest about it, man. You just have to be upfront and get them to be upfront too. That's it. But yeah, pretty interesting, huh, Riff? BWYA Gaming. LOL, that's funny. Nunya says, see you later, chat. Gotta go do some family stuff. Thank you, Coach, for a great live. You're very welcome, Nunya. Have a great day. Happy Mother's Day to you. BWYA Gaming. My sister loves bald heads. Sean Connery, etc., etc., etc. Get it. LOL. Cool, BWYA Gaming. Riff Magos, if that's legit, I bet she would like to do more than rub. Exactly. That's the whole point, bro. That's the point, right? BWYA Gaming. Buy it, Nunya, girl in town. Nunya, Riff Magos, warning Will Robinson, and a dictionary, I hope, says Riff. Great, Riff. BWYA Gaming, I kill plants. Okay. Lewis Fuller, see you later, Nunya. Nunya says, bye, Lewis. Rick Magos says, just remember, kiddies, a real alpha man doesn't feel the need to constantly remind the world he's alpha. I understand that, but as a coach, you give examples. But I know you're messing with me, Rick. You're right, Riff. Listen, bro, you're absolutely right. I only mention it because I share examples with the hopes that I can help more men become alpha like you and myself. Queen says, I'm staying out of this. Okay, Queen. Riff says, if she's leading you on for 3 or 4 dates, she wants you to pay for her meals. Right. You're right. Absolutely. Hazy Train, happy Mother's Day to all of you in chat. All right, folks, I'm going to get on out of here. I'm going to thank you all for being here today. Happy Mother's Day to all the ladies out there. You're probably not going to hear from me for the rest of the day, besides maybe a few community wall postings if it's necessary to update you folks on some stuff. But if you don't hear from me, I'm going to be busy the rest of the day with another phone call, working on some clerical stuff. And then tomorrow I've got to, run some errands. And then more than likely in the evening, I'll be back into the stream tomorrow night. Again, happy Mother's Day. Have a great day to everyone. And I'll see you all next time. Take care. Bye. Bye.